What is good, y'all? Y'all, we got some good stuff to cover today. Now, y'all know throughout the week, Trump was like he was going to be bringing receipts and dropping some names, y'all, because what is going on right now is Doge is getting down to the bottom of everything of where our tax dollars have been spent, y'all. They have now unraveled and going into the IRS. They're going into Social Security, y'all. They are going into Medicaid. They are breaking every part of the government down. It's also a saying they even finna dive into CPS funding for the children and stuff like that. Y'all, excuse me. It is about to be so much stuff that is about to be revealed, y'all. We finally making it through this month. It has been non-stop of this funding and where it's going. It is crazy how much corruption has taken place and how long it has been going on. And we have the people in here that are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Okay? And that is keeping it straightforward with us. And I'm loving every bit of it. But a lot of people are still kind of salty about it. A lot of people are still brainwashed. They like protesting, all kind of stuff, threats. It's just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. Well, boy, Jim said he got something to tell y'all. Okay. He got something to tell a few of y'all. So with that being said, y'all, we finna dive into the videos today, and then we're gonna chop it up towards the end. So let's not even waste some more time. Let's get into it. Come on, Jim, you got the flow. Let's go.
Democrats for now, 2 weeks have been saying instead of stopping the stupid spending, they attack the guy who's exposing the stupid spending. I think we should maybe get rid of the stupid spending. Trans comic opera in Ireland, Sesame Street on Iraqi television. I think maybe we should focus on that. No. Can't do that. And I think this just underscores the fundamental difference between the left and those of us in the Republican Party, those of us conservatives. The left thinks the bureaucrats are smarter than we the people. Got to trust the bureaucracy. Got to trust you got to trust the experts in the government. I'd rather trust the people. 77 million people who elected President Trump, who told us he was systematically going to go through these agencies and identify dumb things where taxpayer money is going to. He told us he was going to do it. The American people understood it. He got elected. Now he's carrying out that mission, and they're attacking the guy who's President Trump has put in charge of this effort. The bureaucrats who decided Big Bird and Bert and Ernie on Baghdad TV was a good use of taxpayer money. Can't question them. Can't do that. Can't question the people in the bureau. Can't question the 108,000 people who work at Treasury. No. They're smarter than the folks President Trump has asked to come in and look at where our tax money is going. Can't question. I think about this. The smartest bureaucrat in the history of the world, Dr. Fauci, the things he told us. We weren't allowed to question him for 2 years.
Or
he
speak
ran
on
our
it.
lives.
Or
Here's
speak
the
on
irony.
it.
Everything he told us turned out to be false. Told us
Censor left to right if you mention that man's name up on. Man, I'm trying to tell you.
it didn't come to tell us the virus didn't come from a lab. Yes, it did. We got agencies now that tell us that, confirm that. Told us the vaccinated couldn't get it. Told us the vaccinated couldn't transmit it. He's wrong on both those counts. Told us masks work. Told us 6 feet social distancing was based on science. They just made it up. Here's the kicker. He told us this is the first virus in history where there was no such thing as natural immunity. Can't question him. Got to trust the bureaucracy. I'd prefer to trust the people. Oh, by the way, remember when they tried to set up a bureaucracy in the government that was going to tell us what we were allowed to say? They actually had tried to set up the Disinformation Governance Board as if a bunch of federal bureaucrats could tell us what we can say, what we can't say, what's information, what's disinformation. You got to be kidding me. So I'll trust the guy who was elected by 77 million Americans. I'll trust the Constitution. The executive power shall be vested in a president of the United States. You know why they did that in the Constitution? Because that's the guy who puts his name on a ballot and has to get votes, not the bureaucracy, not the thousands and thousands of people who think they're so much smarter than us regular folks who just get to vote. Trust the guy who was elected and the people he's put in charge of this effort. He told us he was going to do it. The American people elected him to do it. And maybe focus on stopping the stupid spending. After all, we have a $36 trillion debt. Finally, I would just say this. This is a good bill. by a good member of our Congress, Mr. Siscomani. We passed it last year. We should pass it again. And with that, I yield back.
And with that, I yield back too. Jim. That's what I'm talking about. Facts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Can you blame another? Check this out. Vampires on Social Security. Check this out, y'all. And then we finna get into Trump when he said he was dropping receipts and names for this right here. Check this out.
This is crazy. According to the Social Security database, this is the amount of people alive in each age bracket. Elon Musk brought this to our attention by tweeting this out tonight. And because there are millions of people registered over the age of 150, he said maybe Twilight is real and there are a lot of vampires collecting Social Security. It's insane when you look at these numbers. There are 3.4 million people registered between the age of 120 and 129 years old. Look at 130 to 139, almost 4 million. There's actually more 130-year-olds than 120-year-olds. Absolutely wild. Another 3.5 million, supposedly people the age of 140 to 149. And the list goes on, even showing, look, there must have been some sort of a baby boom 220 years ago because there's 1,000 people, according to Social Security, in the United States between the age of 220 and 229 years old. And there's even someone alive at 360. And obviously not okay if these individuals are receiving Social Security checks. So what do you think? Are vampires real or is this money going somewhere else? As always, let me know down below.
Good question. I mean, y'all, you see what they did to USAID and so many other places. Nobody's trusted, y'all. Nobody can be trusted. Now, with that saying, y'all, it brings me to this video right here that Trump dropped yesterday. President Trump brings the receipts to read off shocking list of taxpayer-funded government programs, y'all. Let's dive into it. We ain't finna waste no time. Let's go.
And, you know, it's a very sad situation. Yeah, please.
In a court filing, the White House said that Elon Musk is not a DOJ employee and has no authority to make decisions. Can you clarify for us today
Well,
what
Elon
his
Musk,
exact role is? That
Please.
Yeah, Elon is, to me, a patriot. So, you know, you could call him an employee, you could call him a consultant, you could call him whatever you want. But he's a patriot. I mean, look at the kind of things. I just said, just write it down, just in case that question got asked, right? And which I'm surprised it took so long, actually. But you know what? Ukraine's a bigger deal because people are dying by the thousands a week, thousands. But look at this, from 90 to 99, Social Security, 6,054,000 people. Well, that's okay. Maybe that's possible. You know, 90 to 99, maybe it's possible. It's a lot of people, though, at that. But people.
Because I'm not gonna lie, my son's great-great-great-great-grandma, she lived to be like 106. Okay, so around that, yeah, possible, but we got to see the people who's living beyond. You know what I'm saying? Beyond it, because that means you got some wisdom, baby. If you living beyond that, for real, for real.
People that live to 100 to 109, 4,734,000. Wow, that's a lot. That means over 100 years old. They're 4 million people. I don't know too many. I know people that are doing great in their 90s, but not too many people over 100. But over 120, from 120 years old,
Right.
people that are 120 years old up to 129, 3,472,000 people. Wow. You know, that can't possibly be because the record is like, I think it's one person, a woman, lived to 127, but they have 3,472. Okay, but now we're going really in. People from 130 years old to 139-year-old, 3,936,000. Wow. I wonder if people are getting paid with all this. I mean, are these checks, and that's what we're checking right now. People from 140 years old to 149 years old, 3,542,000. 140 years old and beyond. Now we're really going because we're looking to break the record by 25 years. People from 150 years old to 159 years old, 1,345,000. These are in the, by the way, these are in the computer files. This is what they do well. They're super. I asked Elon, who are these Doge people? He said they're super brilliant computer people and they love the country. It's
Point
simple.
blank period.
Wait a minute. People from 160 years old to 169 years, 121,000. So 160-year-old people. 170 to 179,000, 6,087. But now, let's go into the real numbers.
Put your hand down. He said, hold on.
From 200 to 209 years old, 879 people. From 210 years old, I haven't met any of them. And if I did, I would bless them. I would worship the ground they walk on.
For real.
210 to 219 years, 866. From 220 years old to 229 years old, 1,039. And then you have two people. From 240 years old to 249 years old, one person. And there's one person that's 360 years old. That's just that. And then, where's the money being spent, right? Let's go into that for just a second.
That's the question.
$520 million for a consultant on the environment. It's called Environmental, Social, and Governance. Investments in Africa and mobilize private sector resources. $520 million. Somebody got $520 million for an environmental. Wow. Sounds like an environmental study. I've always been one that paid a lot of money for my environmental studies, but I paid like $50,000, not $520 million. $520 million.
That's a lot of money.
For ESG. $25 million to promote biodiversity, conservation, and promote licit livelihoods by developing socially responsible behavior in the country of Colombia. Well, it's nice, $25 million to go into Colombia for something that nobody ever heard of. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. $40 million. $42 million for Johns Hopkins, great place, to research and drive social and behavior change in Uganda. $42 million. What about us? What about social change in our country? $70 million for a center at Purdue to research university-sourced, evidence-based solutions to developmental challenges. I mean, these are massive numbers on things that nobody ever heard about. $10 million for Mozambique voluntary medical male circumcisions. $10 million for circumcisions in another country. $9.7 million for UC Berkeley to develop a cohort of Cambodian youth with enterprise-driven skills. In other words, let's teach them something about enterprise. What about our people? Can't we teach them about enterprise? $2.3 million for strengthening independent voices in Cambodia. $32 million to the Prague Civil Society Center, which is a very liberal group of people. Wonder how much of that money came back to the people that approved it. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $486 million to the Consortium for Elections and Political Process Strengthening, including $22 million for inclusive and participatory political process in Moldova, and $21 million for voter turnout in India. Well, why are we giving $21 million to India? They got a lot of money. They're one of the highest taxing countries in the world in terms of us. We can hardly get in there because their tariffs are so high. I have a lot of respect for India. I have a lot of respect for the Prime Minister. He just left, as you know, 2 days ago. But we're giving $21 million for voter turnout. It's voter turnout in India. What about, like, voter turnout here? Oh, we've done that, I guess. We did $500 million, didn't we? It's called the lockboxes. $20 million for fiscal federalism in Nepal. Listen to these numbers. This is all fraud. $19 million for biodiversity conservation in Nepal. $1.5 million for voter confidence. We want to give them confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $2.5 million for inclusive democracies in South Africa. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well. They're doing a lot better than we do in the schools, aren't they? $2 million to develop sustainable recycling models to increase socioeconomic cohesion among marginalized communities in Kosovo and Eshkali and in Egypt. We're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars. I could, by the way, I could read this all day long. I could go on all day long, and you'll see hundreds of billions of dollars, and we're doing it. But when I saw the Social Security numbers, I said, wow, that's really something. So we have, let's just go above 100 years old. We have millions and millions of people over 100 years old. Everybody knows that's not so. We have a very corrupt country, and it's a sad thing to say, but we're figuring it out. Now, the good thing about Social Security and what I read is if you take all of those numbers off, because they're obviously fraudulent or incompetent, but if you take all of those millions of people off Social Security, all of a sudden we have a very powerful Social Security with people that are 80 and 70 and 90, but not 200 years old. You know, so it's a very positive thing. How about over here? Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Fox News Alert moment.
y'all see what is going on here. He said it. Yes, y'all. How long? Oh my God. As they pick apart the government, this is going to be something, y'all. And now it makes sense why the hell America could literally go bankrupt, y'all. Literally why we are in debt. And why Social Security, like, do y'all understand what is taking place? What is going on? Like really, really just pay attention, y'all. What I'm finding out is that these fundings have been going to everywhere but here. And then I have to ask myself and think like, okay, if we in debt and stuff and y'all are issuing this money out to all these different places and stuff like that, you would think that we wouldn't be in debt. But the corruption part is because they found a way to issue it all out, but the money flowing right into their pockets. Who cares about the American people? Who cares about the country going into debt? We don't care. As long as our pockets remain fat and we getting something through these places that are outside of the United States, we're good. Let's just keep letting American people work, keep taking their tax dollars, telling them this and telling them that and telling them that we got to raise it here and raise it there because of this, and now we're seeing the reason why. Now we seeing why we can't get all our taxes. Now we seeing why this is happening. Why, it's pick apart the government, y'all. This is going to be something to watch. And if you still are one of the ones who just, still don't see it or get it, baby, you finna be left behind. You are about to be left behind. Okay? Y'all, let's drop it up in the comment section. I want to know y'all thoughts. This is crazy. This is crazy. And it's only going to get worse. Shout out to the judges who are saying, hey, Doge, I'm approving this. Go on out there and do what you got to do. Because I know a lot of them like, dang. Going in just a month now. You know what I'm saying? About to be a little bit over a month. Not even, you know what I'm saying? And all this has transpired within this small little time, y'all. Do y'all know how much has been revealed with the little time that they've been in office? Are y'all not realizing or seeing this? This was all within a month of being in the White House. So y'all can miss me when it comes to Elon Musk and his team, y'all. They are doing a great job. And these folks are not liking it because they are finally telling the truth. And it's stupid, yes, to where our tax dollars have been going. And I am here for the ride. Let me tell y'all. Until the next reaction, y'all. Let's talk in the comment section. I want to know y'all thoughts. And I want to know this too. Has any of y'all, know somebody that has lived to be over, like Trump said somebody was 127, but over that? Do y'all know anybody? Drop in the comments. I want to know. Because it's like, okay, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, again, I said my son's great grandma lived to be, 106? So if you living beyond that, baby, you got some wisdom, and I want to know. I want to know. Anywho, y'all, appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm up out of here. Let's talk.